To thread the Bernina 350, we're going to first talk about the different sizes of spools that are out there and also what spool caps that will fit. So for example, this is the one we're going to use, and it's going to match up with a spool cap about this size. So as we place that on the horizontal spool pin and slide that all the way on, you want to make sure that there's no gap left between the spool cap and the spool. Now you have both a horizontal and a vertical spool pin. Threads that are on the spool cross-wound, so that's going to be like this one or this one. See how they have little X's? They're going to come off the spool best if they are laid down and the thread comes off the end of it like this. If the thread is stacked, where the thread is laid right next to each other, it's going to be best if that thread is put on the vertical spool pin and spun from the back side. A lot of stacked threads actually have those little grooves in them where you can hide and keep the thread from unraveling. You sure don't want that down and having the thread catch on that while you're doing it, or even those little bumps along the end. That would be a little rough for that particular thread. So threads that are on a spool that's a little bit bigger, we can use the larger spool cap that would sit on just like this. And spools like this that don't have an end, what you want to do is put them on. That is a cross wound, so that's going to go on the horizontal spool pin. The thread is going to come off the end that has no cap. And this is a great spool to use that smallest spool cap because look, the prongs will go right into the middle and hold that in place. So just kind of take a look at the spool of thread that you are selecting to use and then match up the spool cap appropriately. We're going to start by winding a bobbin. Bobbins are not a mix and match, so that means you need to use the Bernina bobbins. You're going to find they have a little rough groove on the inside and the larger holes on the outside. They are perfectly weighted for what you are using in the machine, and the machine is set up for this particular size of bobbin. So take your thread, and you're always going to come across and use the first guide on the back side of the machine. Now, for winding a bobbin, we're going to go around the pre-tensioner. There is a little arrow directing you which way to actually go around. So it's going to go around and cross over itself. Now, what's nice is you can just put this bobbin on, those little grips on the inside of the core. You can just give it a length of thread, wrap it around there. If you have a longer length, you can use the cutter that's right underneath here. Cut the thread and then engage it. It has a separate bobbin winder motor, so you can be getting ready for your project while the bobbin's winding up here. These are great size bobbins, so they hold a lot of thread. If you use some of the finer thread, boy, you can get a lot of yardage on there. So just let it continue to wind until it stops completely for you. You don't have to do any thinking, and I'm not pressing the foot control down at all for this to continue to wind. If you don't get underneath this little pre-tensioner, this bobbin might wind with a little bit of some squishiness to it, right? See how nice and firm that is? That's exactly what you want. So if you get some fluffy bobbins, as I call them, the thread did not get underneath and in this little pre-tensioner area. Now, once it stopped winding, what we can do is lift that up and just bring the bobbin towards you around the back side. That little cutter will cut the thread. There's actually 3 cutters on the machine, so it's nice to have them all around. Now, for threading the machine, we undo from the pre-tensioner. This is only for doing and winding bobbins. So we have from the spool, from the back guide right here, that's always in use, come straight down. I am going to just note, is my presser foot up when I thread the machine? It is, so I can continue. Come all the way straight down and all the way up under the silver arm. Come in all the way to the right and all the way to the back on the right and down on the left. And it's going to hook into a small little area called the take-up lever right here. You have 2 guides at the top of the needle. One is right at the base of the housing, open on the right side, so just swish it behind. And then the last guide, don't forget this one. Right down above at the top of the needle, it's open on the left side. You're going to swish that around too. Now, this machine has a needle threader, which I love, and we will take a close-up video of how to use the needle threader. So then just bring it through. The foot has a little groove on the side. Slip that thread through the groove, and there's a cutter over here on the far left side of the machine that you can cut the thread, and it'll be ready to go. Let's put the bobbin into the machine next. I'm going to go ahead and slide off the table. Take out the bobbin. Remember I said there's a bobbin in here from when it came from the factory. So this is actually full with a white thread. It's a good quality thread, so you can save that and use it. Here's the key for putting your bobbin in correctly. First off, you want the thread coming off the right-hand side. As you drop that into the bobbin case, those holes need to spin clockwise. Bring it around so you can see where the little groove is on the side of the bobbin case. Pinch it from at the top and bottom, and then put the thread along the side of the bobbin case and have it slip into that little groove. Notice right down here, it's kind of like a little C area. That thread will just sit in that area there. It doesn't matter which side the thread lays of this little finger that's pointing up. Now, I will tell you, if you become left-handed when putting this bobbin case in, it is easier. Reach over here, hold this latch out with your left index finger. By doing that, the bobbin is locked into place, and so it won't come out. To get the bobbin to release, take your finger out of the latch, and it will drop out for changing. So we're going to hold this up. Finger needs to be straight up, and there's going to be a place that when you put it in, that it will kind of sit in there. And then take your thread, there's the third cutter here down at the bobbin area. Go ahead and cut your thread right along the side of the machine. Close the door and forget about it. Let's go ahead and see if we have it threaded correctly. You're going to find that as you slide this table back on, that will just give you a little bit of work surface. And then lower down the presser foot in back. And when you turn the machine on, it will start with a straight stitch. So just go ahead and sew. The machine purrs. You have done it correctly. When I'm done, you're going to notice that the needle is going to stop in the up position. I'll raise up my presser foot in the back, pull out, and cut the thread. You're going to see that you have a beautiful stitch.